According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, at some point in our lives, often while recovering from a serious illness or accident, almost 70% of us, that's 7 out of every 10 Americans, will require some sort of convalescence or nursing, assisted living, custodial, or hospice care, lasting several months or even years. That's why it's often referred to as long-term care. And there are more than 10 million Americans of all ages who currently require long-term care services. And the average cost of long-term care in a residential care facility is more than $6,000 a month. Even a few hours a day of in-home care can cost at least $2,000 a month. And those prices are expected to double or even triple over the next 20 years. But the cost of this care is not covered by either health insurance or Medicare, which is why many people use up all of their savings and even sell their homes to pay for these services. And while many of us think that long-term care is only for people in their 70s, 80s, or 90s, the fact is that 4 out of 10 people currently receiving long-term care are between the ages of 20 and 60. Like Stacy, who was diagnosed with leukemia when she was 44. She needed home nursing care for almost 2 years at a total cost of $160,000. Or Kevin, who was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in his 30s. He's had an in-home caregiver for the past 3 years at a cost of $180,000. Of course, long-term care is more often required at older ages, like Jenna, whose Alzheimer's progressed to the stage at which she required 24/7 resident nursing care for the last 2 years of her life, and it cost her family more than $140,000. Like Jenna, if we cannot afford to pay for long-term care ourselves, we must then rely on family members to either provide care to us or pay the cost for us. So what's the most economical way to pay for long-term care? With long-term care insurance. Long-term care insurance can pay for the nursing, custodial, or hospice care you might need at any age in the comfort of your own home or in a resident care facility of your own choosing without any risk of becoming a financial obligation or imposition to your family. Like Jocelyn, whose legs were paralyzed in an auto accident at age 52. She's needed custodial care for almost 2 years at a cost of almost $4,000 a month, and most of it was covered by her long-term care insurance. Or Pete, who suffered a stroke at age 78 and lived in a nursing home for 28 months before he passed on. Total cost, $370,000, most of it covered by his long-term care insurance. Or Marie, whose emphysema required an in-home caregiver for the last 2 years of her life, and the cost amounted to more than $220,000. Again, all paid for by her long-term care insurance. Interested? Then talk with the long-term care professional who asked you to watch this video.